Today we'll be starting with the second part of MRP, and the topics that we'll be covering today, they are what is reorder point, safety stock, scheduling, MRP run, planning file entry, process of consumption based planning, how to execute MRP, control parameters for MRP run, and plant and MRP group parameters customizing. So let us first of all start with our first topic for today, which is reorder point planning. Okay, so first of all, we'll see what is reorder point planning. Okay, so just in general terms, in general life language, we'll see what is reorder point planning. So I'll explain this with an example. So for example, just imagine that you're building a new home, okay, building a new house, okay, and every day you need, say, 20 bags of cement, which is a consumption, okay, on the day-to-day basis. Okay, so you need every day you need 20 bags of cement. So suppose here you can see in the graph, you can see stock. So today we have, say, 100 pieces of stock, okay, and the consumption per day is 20 pieces. So today we have 100 pieces, and on the other side here you can see on the other side here you can see the days in time in days. Okay, so today we have, you can see, 100 pieces of stock. Now if I'm using 20 pieces of cement bag every day, then how many days it will take for me to consume the stock? So if you see that graph, so if I use 20 bags every day, in next 5 days I will consume all the 100 pieces of stock. Okay, and suppose then I will fulfill the stock again with 100 pieces, say, and again in the next 5 days I will consume all the stock. Okay, now this process will continue. Okay, but my question to you is, shall we place an order here? Okay, should we place an order at this point? Okay, the answer will be no. Why no? Because if you place an order on the day when the stock is finishing, it might take maybe 3 days or 4 days to get the stock. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense that you will be placing an order for the stock on the day when the stock is exhausted. Okay, so that means we need to place an order for the stock in advance. Okay, how many days in advance? Say if it takes 3 days for the delivery process, then we need to place an order 3 days before. Okay, so in that case you can see what we call it RLT, replenishment lead time. Okay, so we will be placing an order 3 days ahead. This is one thing which is known as replenishment lead time. Second thing we need to know is, that is fine, we need to place the order 3 days before. And another thing we can set up is that, okay, whenever the stock is 60 pieces, okay, then we should be placing an order. So as soon as the stock will reach 60 pieces, as you can see in the graph, we need to place an order. Okay, and if it is taking 3 days, then we will be safe. Okay, after 3 days the stock will arrive and we can again fulfill the stock. Okay, so there will be never any shortage. Okay, so that is the concept of reorder point. Okay, so how the reorder point works in general. Okay, now we'll see the reorder point in SAP language. Now if you look at this graph here, it's explaining the same thing. Okay, so here you can see that is your reorder point. Okay, so this is my reorder point, and here somewhere here we're placing an order. Okay, and this is your replenishment lead time. Okay, that's fine, but here we also need to make another point into consideration, which is known as safety stock. What is safety stock? That means if you can say we have 20 pieces of safety stock here, and here I can say this is 60 pieces where we placing an order, reorder point, and total stock is, say, 100. Okay, so safety stock is 20 pieces. So safety stock is something that if something by chance, if there is another requirement, okay, then we need to have some stock in safety. Like we keep the money in our bank just for safety. Okay, so we don't spend all our salary. We keep some money for the rainy day, just in case something happens. So we should have some money in the bank as spare. So that's like safety stock. We should have some extra stock in our warehouse, so that whenever there is a shortfall, or whenever there is a something unexpected happening, or like it can be like the delivery can take more than 3 days. Okay, anything can happen. So in that case, we'll be keeping an eye on safety stock. So we can say, okay, 20 pieces is the safety stock. So safety stock we need to maintain always. So that is a safety stock which will keep here all the time, so that in any circumstances where we have some extra requirement, or maybe the delay in delivery, we can consume the safety stock. Okay, just for rainy days. So that's your safety stock. That's a reorder point from SAP point of view. Okay, so let's see this one practically. First, we'll just I'll show you some theory. So then we'll do some practicals. So in theoretically, what is reorder point? Reorder point should cover the expected material shortage requirement during replenishment lead time. Okay, so by the time you get the procurement, it should be covering up the shortage. And what is safety stock? This should cover any excess material consumption that may occur during replenishment lead time, as well as the normal requirement when deliveries are delayed. Okay, which I already explained. Now the most important point to be noted is safety stock is a part of reorder point. Okay, so always remember this. This is a very important question, that safety stock is a part of reorder point. Now we'll do some practicals. Now I'll show you where the reorder point is maintained. If I go to MM02 and open one material, so this material we created last time. So if you go to MRP1 tab, here, if you select the MRP type, VB, if I select say PD, just say PD, if I select PD, what will happen? Okay, I selected PD, let me go back, I'll change it. Let me enter one value here. Okay, so let me save it. I'll come back and change again. Okay, so here when you choose a MRP type, say, which is VB is a standard manual reorder point planning. Okay, so if I select this one, as soon as I select this one, if I press enter, you can see it is showing me a message at the bottom. Okay, specify the reorder point for reorder point planning. Because I'm using the reorder point planning here, it is mandatory to enter the reorder point value here. Okay, so what is your reorder point? I can say, okay, reorder point is say 60. Okay, I can say 60, press enter, looks good, it will jump to the next screen. And here, optionally, it's optional that you can also maintain safety stock. Okay, so as per in our scenario, I will say 20 pieces is the safety stock. Okay, as per the scenario that we can see here. Okay, so 20 pieces and 100 pieces, and 60 pieces is the reorder point and 20 pieces is the safety stock, and I can save it. So system will next time consider all these requirements, that it will plan as soon as the stock will fall below 60. As soon as stock will fall below 60, it will do the MRP run and will create some requirement. That we'll see in the next topic soon, that how we can run MRP and it will create the requirement. So so that's all about it. And then also there's a thing called net requirement calculation in the reorder point plan. So what is reorder point plan net requirement calculation? That means, suppose I have a shortage. Okay, say I have a shortage here. That means